Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends, lore, and crazy stories that always seem to take place in Florida. My name is Wayne. I do some of the history on the podcast. Cameron, what's your voice sound like?
This is Cameron, and I do the best part of the show, which is headlines. I give you what the people want.
Okay, can you cut it a little bit?
Oh, sorry.
This is Josh's voice. Josh does the best part, gives people what they want.
Hey, we love you guys. Thank you for listening. Episode 128. We are streaming live right now on patreon.com/FMOFM podcast. Listen, if you're here for the first time, I got to break it to you. I'm just going to do it real fast. Cameron's got scabies.
Okay.
Okay.
That is not
It's
true.
either scabies or rabies.
That actually is a huge difference.
Oh,
but
is it?
I'm not sure which one's worse, though.
I can't spell either.
Can I correct?
I think I'd rather have rabies than scabies.
Cameron has a ringworm. So
Okay.
I feel like it's kind of close.
That's not true at all either. Okay, here's what happened.
I diagnosed
Here
him.
he goes.
Listen,
this
I
story's
woke
going
up
to get
at
exaggerated.
3:45 in the morning, okay, and just shooting pain from my left ankle up my leg.
Right.
Like nerves all on fire.
We get it. That's how pain works. It goes to the brain.
So I'm thinking the worst, right?
Yeah, you are.
Black Widow.
Black Widow spider is in the bed at this time biting my leg. So I get my phone out, I turn the flashlight on, I look at it. Looks like a blister, but I don't remember ever having like a blister with no skin on it, right?
You weren't wearing boots.
Not that day.
Your bedtime boots were put up?
No. Yeah. And so anyways, I'm like, I don't understand what this is. And so, it's still hurting. I can't sleep. So I start looking things up. Well, I forget about it. I'm like, okay, I got to get back to sleep. Forget about the whole thing. Well, around lunchtime, okay, later today, I get back on my phone on Safari, and I realize when I pulled up Safari, I had a web page up about shingles.
Right.
So somehow at 4 a.m. this morning, I had convinced myself that I had shingles.
Or that your roof was about to leak.
Right. It was one or the other. It was scabies or rabies or shingles. But somehow I knew that my ankle had to come off.
Right. Okay, so
That explains the bone saw.
what we're saying
And
is
the limp.
for our Patreon subscribers, it's behind a paywall, yes, but we're going to be cutting off Cameron's ankle in about 15, 20 minutes.
Right. Find the sharpest tool that you can find in the closet.
Before we do that, could you do headlines?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
That would be
Easy
awesome.
money. Easy money.
I can do that with one leg.
Easy money.
Good man.
Okay, headlines.
Headlines.
All right, so we have a Florida man in Nebraska who was pulled over by the state patrol troopers, okay, which that's step one. You don't leave Florida.
Right.
All right. If you're a Florida man, you stay in Florida. We protect you. We love on you. This is your land.
Or we shoot you.
Okay. Okay. So anyways, he was pulled over by state troopers in Nebraska.
Florida state troopers?
And they found, Nebraska State Patrol. And they found 14 ATM machines in the back of his van. Okay. He had one of those Mercedes Sprinter vans.
Yeah, amen. Love them.
14 ATMs back there. All right. And also a big safe. Well,
Does he know about e-commerce and how money is not a...
like the whole ATM thing. That's not, I don't remember the last time he used an ATM.
Tactile currency is dying. Yeah.
So they got a little suspicious because, the van didn't say
ATMs inside.
ATM
money van
are us, right? Money van.
Money
and
heist.
So they bring a dog out. The dogs,
stolen
immediately
money. He
are
can find stolen money.
check those ATMs.
Okay.
That's what the dog said.
Yeah.
Okay. Check those ATMs.
Nice.
They find 426 pounds of marijuana inside the ATMs, which they could only get in there because the fire department had to come out and open up the ATMs for the police department. So they found over 400 pounds of marijuana in there.
Okay.
They also found $9,000 in the front seat of the van.
That was an easy find, though.
Yeah, but the money wasn't in the ATM. It was in a duffel bag in the front seat.
Yeah, you can't put money in an ATM. No.
You only take it out.
You only take it out.
Right. So like I said, the lesson here is don't leave Florida. If you're in Florida, you wouldn't got caught for that.
No, we don't care about ATMs.
We could care less about ATMs.
2 episodes ago, someone stole a train. They still haven't found them.
Yeah.
If you have any information about that,
Yeah.
please send us an email.
There's pictures on the interstate.
Okay.
Missing in this locomotive.
It's just choo-choo.
Have you seen me?
Yeah.
All right. Our next headline, we have a Florida couple who have their dream wedding pictured in their mind. They want to do everything they can to show the world that they are in love. They love each other. They're committed to each other.
Wayne,
they
how
want
do you do that?
to show the world their dream wedding. So they find a $5.7 million mansion.
Come on.
Right?
Okay.
And they want to have it there. Okay.
Right.
They want to
Easily.
invite all their closest friends. I think the mansion is like 12,000 square feet on 7.2 acres.
I think it was a mansion.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a
Right.
bungalow.
So anyways,
It's a mother-in-law suite.
The issue is, okay, they invite all their friends. They make a website for this, right?
Send invitations.
Instead of sending invitations, they're sending links to a website that they made specifically for their dream wedding at their
Nice.
dream location.
These new,
pretty
this
classy.
new
And
generation.
they call it their estate. Okay. They said it's their estate. The problem is it didn't belong to them at all. It actually belongs to
Fidel Castro.
one of the heirs.
Okay.
One of the heirs to the IHOP company.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Bro, there's
And
like
so,
20 heirs to the IHOP company.
here's the thing.
They were busy.
It didn't belong to them. They had
Yeah.
no permission to go there. They were actually told.
Wait, what was the plan?
Here's the
Like,
plan. Okay, the mansion was vacant. All right, it was still owned by this guy, but
Yep.
nobody was living there at the moment. So they apparently thought, hey. Nobody's
Let's
going
have
to
a
be
wedding.
there. We
Yep.
can bring in hundreds of people for a wedding and nobody will know. I don't know how.
No, once
You
they
think
hear that
that's
it's
a
for
good
like
idea.
true love, though, most people are like, oh, well, you can take my car. I
Oh,
didn't know
true.
it was
I
true
see
love.
what you're saying.
So they plan this whole event. This guy even they see the mansion multiple times posed as trying to buy it because it's for sale.
right.
The mansion's
cool.
actually for sale.
You got to
So they
remove
go-
that on the day of the wedding, though.
Yeah.
That for
Exactly.
sale
Yeah,
sign.
the for sale sign's got to go.
Amen.
So they go and view it multiple times. They even go as far as asking the guy that owns it, hey, could we possibly do the wedding here? And he says no. So when he says no, they're like, cool. We'll do it anyway.
We're gonna still gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they have all this. The big day comes. People are showing up, and the guy that owns the estate actually shows up, and then he's like, "What is
No,
Can you
no.
imagine hundreds of people in your house,
Super rude.
The way to do it, you have to do it surprise. You have to ambush wedding a mansion. That's
like
the
flash
only-
mob wedding?"
Exactly.
What
Right.
did he do though? He was pretty upset.
Oh, trespass them all. Yeah, he was definitely upset. I think he would have been okay if he had got an invitation,
But then they shamed him for wedding crashing.
right.
Oh.
He didn't like the food that was being served. People are going with food trucks a lot. I think he
Yeah.
wanted a nice sit down dinner, and it didn't happen.
Let me ask
That
you
makes
this.
sense.
So the king of IHOP shows up
Right.
whenever like 100 kids are at his house.
Yeah, King Hop.
Does he call the cops or does he have
Yeah.
like private security remove them?
No, he called the cops.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have like McDonald's money.
Oh,
He's
well,
got
I
IHOP
think
money.
even if you have McDonald's company, you still call the cops.
Now I have it on good authority. I don't want to say this on the air, but McDonald's never calls the cops.
Oh, McDonald's militia is what you're thinking of.
100%.
They pay somebody to call the cops. All right, so we have a Florida man who is homeless, okay, living in his in his car with his son.
Okay.
All right, he was down on his luck. He had a hard time, and then almost pretty much overnight, made $10,000 on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh,
Changed
yeah.
his life forever.
That's
so
awesome.
Nudity will do that. That's what I've heard. I'm not in the biz.
that's not what happened in this
Never
case.
been nude.
I think it does do that, but that's not what happened in
Okay.
this case. So, anyways, this guy, Lionel, all right, he had it's called an adverse account through Google. At one point, years before this happened, he had a YouTube page that he had thrown up some videos on. Never really went anywhere.
Yeah.
And so he had this adverse count, basically where if you have so many views on your YouTube, and you get over $100 into this account, YouTube will pay it out. But you have to have $100 for the first payout.
Cool.
Right.
Well, he only had $38 in there. So his thought was one day, he's using internet at like restaurant parking lots and stuff like this. They're living in their car. His thought was, man, if I can get another $62 in this account by YouTube monetization, I can have $100.
A cool.
They'll pay out $100. So
he deposited $62 in.
Well, what he does, he starts putting up YouTube videos.
Nice.
And a lot of it is like celebrity gossip type stuff, and he's talking about what's going on in celebrity, that whole realm.
The kids call that iced tea now, right?
I have no idea.
That iced tea.
Right. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But anyways, one of his videos overnight, that I think it was something about Jay-Z getting in a fight with somebody, has millions of views. Millions of views. And he checks his account, and just from that one video, he has over $10,000 in it. And his first thought is, this is not.
Nope.
I'm never going to see this money, right?
No.
It's one thing to see it in this Google AdWords account, whatever,
right?
But it's another to see it deposited. And so the day that it was supposed to deposit it in his account, like he said, he just sat there with his son, and it was like, all of a sudden when it happened, he's like, this is for real. And like, I can do this. So he had, he basically what he was doing was using like local parks and gazebos and stuff to like iron his clothes and use internet at these restaurants to try to get job interviews. Well, he basically canceled all those.
10 grand you can live
they were
on
able
for a
he was
while.
able to get a hotel and then an apartment, and then he has over 350,000 subscribers now, with 90 million views on YouTube. And the guy's doing so well for himself. He also does, he creates music for other people. He has some music for himself. And so it's just incredible. Like,
that's awesome.
I think
overnight.
You broke Wayne's brain during that story.
Oh, for sure.
He was gone and thought.
I was just trying to keep him crying, man. It was so sweet, dude.
Very specifically, it's called the Lionel B Show. Okay, on YouTube.
Yeah.
So just amazing. Like, this happened in Tampa, and I just want to highlight.
That's
it's
huge,
super cool.
man.
Wow.
That's awesome. We should get Lionel on the show.
I think so.
That'd be so dope, bro.
That would be awesome.
I'm for it.
So do you guys remember the Florida principal with her daughter that rigged homecoming?
Oh,
This story I do remember.
All right. So
Shame.
just as a really quick recap, this daughter, I guess, was a senior in high school. They have homecoming. Well, her mom is an assistant principal at another school, but in the same district, like an elementary school. But she has access, like district level access, to be able to log into the website. And basically what she did was she went into all these student accounts at the high school, and they rigged the voting and like fraudulently voted for
she
her
saw
daughter.
Lack of participation. And she's like, these kids, they gotta vote.
Right.
Give them a little nudge.
I don't want them to die, and it's vote or die right now.
Right.
True.
Exactly.
So anyways, her daughter, it just came out now as an update that her daughter, who was 17 years old at the time, is being charged as an adult.
For this crime?
For this crime, yeah. So here's what happened was the county realized what was going on because there was like 117 votes from the same IP address within like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And so there was another. They started looking back, and since August of 2019. This mom, this assistant principal's account had accessed 372 high school student records, which she has nothing to do with high school.
She's elementary.
And so they realized that her daughter was going into friends' accounts, but they don't know to what extent, like, she can do like stuff with grades on there.
Absolutely insane.
She can do kind of all kinds of stuff with 339 of those were Tate students, which is where she went to the high school.
This explains why Spaghetti Fest got voted, because it was like Cube Steak Fest or Spaghetti Fest.
Right.
And that daughter, she
at that high school?
She rigged it. Yeah.
Right. So this is bigger than homecoming.
Oh yeah. She's been doing this. She's been doing this for a couple of years. And so I think that's what kind of made the decision we need to try her as an adult. They both face a maximum sentence.
The electric chair?
16 years in prison.
Wow, I'd take the electric chair. I'm not doing prison time.
Josh said I can't go back.
Give me Sparky. Give me old Sparky.
That's the worst crime to even fess up to. Oh, what are you in for?
There's no acting hard.
You got 16 years. What do you? Oh yeah, I rigged my homecoming.
I changed my friend's grades.
I won. I mean, it was taken away from me, but I did win.
That's absolutely. But you know what though, dude? Like, I have no sympathy whatsoever.
But that night had to be pretty awesome. Like homecoming queen.
But then knowing you
soak it
cheated
up.
though the whole time,
I take it all day.
Tons of high schools aren't even doing homecoming. Like, they didn't even do homecoming.
This
so
guy.
to be a queen, who cares?
Yeah, yeah, Elizabeth, listen up.
Jesus.
All right, our next one, we have a Florida man who is Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, Florida man who is being fined $30,000
Okay, let's hear it.
for his grass being overgrown.
Oh, HOAs, bro.
Okay,
Where does he live?
Dunedin, Florida.
One of my
so
favorite
here's the thing.
Edens.
This guy, he's 71 years old.
Yep.
Basically, what happened was the first time that this happened, where the city of Dunedin basically sent him info of, hey, this is a warning or like a fine. I think the first one was even a fine saying you need to get your grass under control.
Big grass bill, they call it.
Right. He was out of state taking care of his mother's estate that he had, his mother had just passed away. And so during this time, he was trying to take care of that. Well, his lawn guy apparently passed away. And so he didn't even get all this information. He was out of state. He comes back. Obviously, I guess his grass is overgrown. But he didn't get any of this, these fines and all this kind of stuff until he gets a notice that he owes $30,000 for his grass being overgrown.
How tall is that grass?
Okay, well, here's
Ridiculous.
the thing. It doesn't specifically say how tall the grass is, but it does say you will get a fine if your grass is over 10 inches tall.
But $33,000.
$30,000. And here's the thing. Well,
don't exaggerate.
it went through the city. It went through the city.
Okay.
And he basically, appealed it and all this kind of stuff. Well, the court, Middle District of Florida Court, ruled it as being, they basically agreed with it.
I mean, the post office does forward your mail.
That's egregious, dude.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
The reason that I sued in the first place was because the city was going to foreclose his house to pay the fines for the overgrown lawn.
Bro, if I'm 71,
Dunedin, Florida.
Listen up.
Okay, tell them.
If you
preach,
if Dunedin, listen to me. I'm speaking directly to the mayor or the king of Dunedin.
Yeah, Mr. Dunedin.
Mr. Dunedin. Erase this man's fines right now.
Get rid of them.
They're gone.
We're upset with you.
It's grass.
I'll put you in the shame corner for the next 5 episodes.
Oh, they don't want that.
That's
a real
$30,000
for grass,
and for something the guy couldn't even do.
Look,
he wasn't.
You
there.
go down the road, you see a field.
Get 'em.
An overgrown field.
Not in Dunedin, you don't, because they keep it trim. It's a nice put together.
They're scared
town.
to let hay grow in Dunedin, Florida.
That's insane.
Yeah, honestly,
that is absolutely insane.
I just feel so bad for the guy. I mean, there's probably so many different sides of the story, but it still comes down to the fact that the guy's grass was overgrown.
I think every side of the story comes down to Dunedin they should be ashamed
and try to foreclose on the guy's house.
Absolutely.
Well, if I'm 71, I go, okay, well, whatever.
Take it.
Yeah.
Take it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not cutting my grass ever.
Yeah, I'll go sleep in that grass.
That's just, at this point, he can sleep in on Saturday mornings because
he doesn't have to mow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, fellas.
Hi, Josh.
Hello, Josh.
So, got a letter.
Okay.
They say, hey, notice something weird today when I was leaving the gas station. Every morning, this person said they go in, they get a nice steamed hot dog.
Right. Okay. For breakfast.
Nice steamed hot dog from the gas station.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And they walk out to the car after purchasing it.
Right.
And they put it in their hot dog cola holder.
Right.
And one's already there.
Right.
And they said it messed them up for weeks. Like,
so they go.
Did I not eat yesterday's dog?
I see. So they go to get a hot dog. When they come out, there's already a hot dog in the holder.
Bingo.
Here's 2 hot dogs now.
And they're like, that's kind of like a glitch in the Matrix. Have you guys ever experienced glitch in the Matrix?
Oh, like you've lost time and you can't explain it.
I've definitely eaten 2 hot dogs before. If that's the question,
that's not the question at all.
I've also lost a hot dog in my car. If that's
gross,
I don't know. I'm on the same page.
I don't know if this qualifies. That's pretty extreme. That would mess me up mentally. But I've got something.
2 hot dogs?
Well, I'm struggling with this currently, actually, with my family. I remember my 2nd grade teacher. Okay. I know what she looks like. I know what her name. I'll say it on the air. Miss Grant.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Miss Grant. Beautiful.
I know where she was beautiful. I know who she was, right?
Okay.
Here's the thing. I have there's absolute zero record of ever being in her class. So I
What?
mentioned it in passing to my mom.
Yearbook?
No,
Oh,
no.
well, you don't buy one in second grade.
I mentioned
guess.
in passing to my mom, and she goes, you were never in Miss Grant's class.
Right.
And I go, no, I was. And she goes, yeah, there were 2 teachers that taught second grade. And Miss Grant was one of them.
Yeah.
You had the other one. And she goes, it was Miss Spivey. And I go, I'd never heard that name in my
shout out.
life.
Okay,
I've never heard that
wow.
name in my life.
Spivey's super hurt right
I
now.
can't picture her.
You made a difference,
She
Miss
pulls a lady
Spivey.
up on the internet. I swear
Spivey
on my
or
life,
Grant?
Spivey, I have never seen this lady in my life. So I say to my mom, I'm in Miss Grant's class. Pull up my class photos.
Or I'm moving out.
She has them all. She has all my class photos. Literally, she's got 11. The one that's missing is second grade. I swear
What?
on my life.
Wait, what?
So the
Hold
one
on.
class photo she's missing is my second grade class
Yeah, we
photo.
got it. Or what was
And
in-
that's the one that would have proven that I was in Miss Grant's class. So, like, my sister, my mom, my dad, they all swear to me, like, you weren't in Miss Grant's class.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I was. That's my glitch in the matrix.
You had clocked out for a whole year.
Why do I have this memory of being in this woman's class when apparently I wasn't at all?
Right. Do you have any friends from second grade that
Never.
can
Lost them all in third.
What?
Yeah.
What happened in third
Well,
grade?
They went like one backpack hold on the arm.
I did the double.
You did double.
And they ostracized me.
Yeah, naturally, it's supposed
Jeez.
to. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the fact that you talked about your second grade teacher that didn't exist all the time.
Probably.
Yeah, they probably thought you were the
I
crazy
should've been-
kid in the
Miss
class.
Grant's the best.
And they're like, that kid.
You were in our class last year with Spivey.
Yeah.
Nah, I should have been sent to counseling, but I still, as a grown man, I've got this memory and I can't explain it.
I
so.
honestly don't think I could tell you my second grade teacher right now.
I don't know any.
I can't
of my
remember my
teachers.
second or third.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can remember any of them.
I could start an order from kindergarten to senior.
do
That's
it.
impressive.
Yeah. I'll do it for Patreon.
I'm sure they're interested.
Yeah.
So I when I first heard this question,
Yeah.
my mind was totally on hot dogs. And so now that I understand,
Your mind's always on hot dogs.
It really is.
now that I kind of had a similar experience, it's not as profound as losing a whole, an entire
No, they
year
gained a hot dog
in elementary school.
True.
Yeah.
No, it's not as profound as that. And, forgetting an entire person that existed in your life.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
bad.
was at my friend Wayne's house the other day.
Okay, this should be good.
And
My house?
that's you.
Okay.
And so, we're having a nice,
Where was I? What the heck?
I think you were busy that night. So we were having a nice dinner.
They're laughing because they know I wasn't.
We were having a nice dinner.
Okay.
Okay. We go outside to kind of give the kids some playtime outside.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
I'm sitting on the swing. There's a nice swing in a big oak tree. It's a beautiful tree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If I'm being
The
serious,
podcast has treated us well.
it's really beautiful. Well, I'm sitting on this swing. Okay. And I'm swinging. Well, all of a sudden, as I'm going, backwards and forwards, super
you do.
relaxed. Okay.
Like
It's a
you do.
nice evening without Josh.
Okay.
And all of a sudden,
Because I'm on that swing.
dude, I swear to you, this baby doll dropped out of the sky,
What?
straight down in front of me, landed right in front of my feet. It could have hit me if my swing, motion
Yeah.
was in a different,
Trajectory
half a
was-
second,
Yep.
right? And so I'm looking around. I'm asking, where did this baby doll come from?
Are you swinging by yourself?
It's not one that.
No, the whole family except for you is there, and but
The whole podcast
the
family.
baby doll literally dropped straight down.
In Cameron's defense, I don't recognize the toy.
Okay, so it took a north to south pattern.
Right. Well, I don't think that's how
And then
the compass works. But I asked these kids, I'm like, okay, first of all, did somebody throw a toy at me?
Right.
Okay.
yeah, because
Uncle
someone's
Cameron's
getting
upset.
spanking.
Right. And so the second thing, though, is it makes zero sense that it dropped straight down.
North to south.
Nobody was even playing with toys. They're all chasing chickens. Okay.
Oh, no
and
wonder
so
I didn't come.
I'm
big
still
yard.
confused. A baby doll dropped out of the sky.
It sounds like a sign, though.
Does this go with even the question? Like,
I think so. It's a glitch in the matrix, like something apparated.
right, because here's what happened.
Okay.
Then the baby doll gets up and walks away.
Shut up.
You're in Toy Story.
holding 2 hot dogs.
Oh my gosh.
No, but for real, I
Case
was super
closed.
confused. I'm still confused. Like, did it drop out of the tree? Are your children chucking baby dolls into the tree?
I can say this.
Yep.
I can say this. Both my daughters have a habit of hiding baby dolls in the tree.
And they have a good arm.
And they got a great arm.
Wow.
Well, I'm Wayne Golden Arm McCarty.
That's true.
I was labeled that
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
Here he goes. I thought he'd never.
And he loves dolls.
Like father, like daughters.
Goodness. I don't know if. I mean, I really wanted to let you guys shine. So, I mean, I got a story.
Well,
but-
then, yeah.
Okay.
You have to have a
so,
story.
well, it was like 9th grade.
Okay.
Mr. DeHuxtable's class.
I got
Okay.
you.
One of my favorite
That's
teachers.
okay.
Dr. Huxtable.
Yeah. Teaching ninth grade. Gotcha.
But this
PhD.
This pertains to soccer. So I was in soccer naturally.
Your
All
doctor
star.
was your soccer coach?
Well, yeah, very talented. You can do both.
No. Okay. I got you.
Okay.
It's America.
So all year they're pumping up this one game. Like they got like a football stadium.
Right.
It's a night game and everybody's hyped about it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'm super hyped.
Right. And we're like this terrible, soccer team from a high school.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, there's going to be announcers. And they're kind of like holding it over your head. Like, if you're bad, then you're not going to be able to play.
Right.
Because it's broadcast. It's a big thing.
Yeah. So they're
You
holding
want
it
your
over.
best.
Yeah. So, like right before the game, apparently I got dared. I was kind of braggadocio. I had soap shoes on, and I was always like bragging that I could grind this rail.
Right.
Okay.
And then someone's like, I bet you couldn't grind that if you had a board. And I was like, I don't have my board here,
Don't
or
need
I
it.
would.
Right.
And then they're like, here's a lunch tray. And I was
What?
like, yeah. So I ran, jumped, I snapped the lunch tray.
Right.
Long story short, got suspended the day before the big game.
Right.
Okay.
And you're soccer star.
Yeah, I'm left midfield.
You're
I
needed.
don't know what that means.
You're needed.
That's in the middle.
Oh, shortstop.
Yeah, I'm
He-
left
he's-
shortstop.
He's aggressive.
Okay.
So I'm like super like sad because they don't want you. You don't even get to wear the jersey. You're now like water boy.
Right.
But my coach is like,
You're massaging other kids.
yeah. My coach is like, but I'm gonna put you in the at halftime.
Nice.
So I'm like, I still got some hope, right?
Right.
So we go to this game, and it's bigger than any game we've been to. They are at the beginning of the game. They announce both teams, and I like showboating, right?
Right.
I like my name in the lights.
Yeah, you're the kid that just grinded a rail with a lunch tray.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, tried, snapped it,
Right.
but that was because
That's okay. Nobody needs to know that part.
Okay, yeah, block that part out. So, the announcers start announcing players. One team, one player, one team, one player. Both those players come out, shake hands, and run onto the field.
Right.
So they go through like 4 players, and they just done my team. Now they go to the other team, and they go, okay, next up, playing midfield,
Uh-oh.
Josh, podcaster, but my name, right?
But your last name, right?
Yeah. And
But it's
this-
the other team.
the other team. And
Wait,
this black
what?
kid runs onto the field, meets my guy. They run out and they play. And I'm like, hold on, what's happening? Because that's my name. There's no way someone has my name, right?
Right.
So I go through the whole game or the half of the game, and now I'm in. So I run up to him and I'm like, hey man, my name is the same name. This dude acts like I didn't exist. Like he's dribbling around me. He acts like I didn't say anything to him.
Like, kind of like, what's that movie called with where he's dead the whole time?
Oh yeah.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
So this guy can't even see you. He just not
And now
acknowledging you at all.
that's blowing my mind because I'm like, I know I exist.
Right.
I just ate a bag of oranges.
Right.
That are supposed
First
to be
half,
saved.
you had to do something.
They're supposed to be saved for the whole team.
Right.
But I'm bored.
Right.
Right. So I got, I'm wearing an orange mouth guard.
So this kid
yeah.
gets has with the exact same name as you, first and last, gets
Yeah.
called onto the field.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're in the game, you're trying to
Right.
say, "Hey, man, that's my name too." And he's not even acknowledging.
He doesn't even like, he dribbles towards me and I go take the ball and he just dribbles through me.
So correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like the other Josh is better than you.
He
At
was
soccer.
He was that game.
you.
Okay,
Right.
but you're thrown off because how can you
Yeah.
defend somebody that doesn't even know you exist?
Thank you.
How can you be on your A game when you don't know if you're real?
Right.
I was like, Jennifer Love
You're
Hewitt.
questioning everything about your entire life at that point.
And I know what you did last summer. I'm
Oh.
like, what are you waiting for, huh?
You're standing in the middle of the field, and even the ref's ignoring you.
Yeah,
He's just
everybody
running right around you. What was the culmination? Did he ever say anything to you? Are you guys friends now?
So after the game, I was like, hey, man, we got the same name. He's like, yeah, I heard you the first 16 times you told me. I didn't think it was that
He's
cool.
like, you really suck, man. You actually
Right.
you stunk up the pitch tonight.
He
You couldn't
was-
even
yeah.
He was there to play soccer.
I
You were
guess
there
so.
to
I
have
was
a
trying-
conversation.
I was trying to meet my brother.
This kid walks out. We have the same name.
He's like, your name's Josh too?
He's like,
no.
you're telling me in the state of Florida there's 2 Joshes?
I'm like, no, we match last names too. And he's like, it's not unique.
Oh, man.
I don't want to be your friend.
So it wasn't so much a glitch in the Matrix as much as it was this guy just didn't care.
It was a glitch for that period of time that I thought I was invisible.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he played you like
He
you were
played me
invisible.
good.
I want you to know that we see you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
You're
that.
just not invited to dinner.
Yeah. I don't want to go to where babies fall out of the sky.
Amen.
Nobody wants to be there.
He's always said that.
That's true.
December 5th, 1945 at 2:10 p.m.
Ooh.
Flight Group 19 of the United States Navy takes off from an airstrip in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
Good
We're
story.
flying, baby.
Okay, finally.
This was a scheduled 3-hour training mission.
Mm-hmm.
And just to give a little background information, World War II had just ended.
Mhm.
And so there weren't any active hostilities in the area.
Cool.
That we knew of.
That we know of.
Right.
But because the largest conflict on the planet had just concluded,
Mhm.
the United States Navy thought it was a good idea to run regular training missions.
I thought a plane was like a bike. Like once you learn it, it's kind of like you jump in. You can.
They were
fly
running
anything.
like formations, like pew pew, like how to
Oh,
kill
okay.
bad guys.
Yep.
So you never know, right? So Flight Group 19, they consisted of 5 torpedo bombers
Yep.
and a
Wow.
14-man crew.
Okay.
So the flight squadron leader, he had flown this particular route every day for 6 months without
Boring.
issue.
Yeah.
But on December 5th, there were some strange anomalies,
okay.
some things that didn't quite add up. 2 hours after the
got
flight
nothing.
began, the flight leader radioed to the other 4 airplanes in the squadron
Yep.
that his compass had failed completely,
Mm.
and he was switching
Mhm.
to his backup navigation device,
Okay.
I gotcha.
Right.
North to
Okay.
south.
Yeah.
north to south. So here's the thing: while he's radioing to the other 4 pilots, they're trying to get a hold of him to say, "Hey, our compasses aren't working.
Okay.
And you need those.
You need
Yeah.
those when
Yeah,
you're
those are
flying a
important.
plane with
Yeah.
no map."
And nobody knew. Hey, our radios aren't working.
Right. So basically, at this point in time, all 5 planes in the squadron are working with their secondary navigational tools.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a
Stars.
finger out the window.
Yeah, I think this is west.
One out the window, one in the belly button.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's called an oil check.
Gross.
So shortly after this, they're all running on backups.
Okay.
Shortly after this, the backup compasses start going haywire as well. So, like, look,
Uh-oh.
they didn't
Okay.
just break; they start spinning,
Bad
and,
batch.
and going crazy.
The
Right?
planes? Or the compasses?
The compasses
Okay.
do. Right. So the squadron leader radios back into land. Look, all of our guidance machinery is not working. We need help from the air base.
Right.
And so basically they're saying, look, we have radars in these planes.
Yep.
You guys on land back at the base can see the radars. If you can just tell us where we're at, give us some
Yeah.
coordinates, we'll find our way back home.
Right.
We'll figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Just do a U-turn and
Yeah.
aim for the landing strip.
Just
Well-
keep turning. You'll find something.
Yeah, the Navy Air Base radios back and says, yeah, here's the thing, guys. You're not showing up on radar.
Hey, why don't you let us know that
Okay.
before?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the pilots don't know where they are, and the command base doesn't see them on radar.
Okay.
So as far as technology goes, they've completely vanished.
And I assume this is rare for this to happen,
Oh,
where
it's
we completely lose
extremely rare.
5 planes.
100%.
Okay.
And 12 compasses.
Right. Yeah. So over the next 2 hours, the
Mm-hmm.
Navy Air Base in Fort Lauderdale received countless of confusing and disturbing messages from every pilot in Flight Group 19.
Oh,
Mhm.
easy. Yeah.
This is a quote. These messages were described as, and I quote, obvious hallucinations fueled by panicked behavior.
Okay.
Someone said that out loud?
This is what the Navy report says.
Right. Well,
Oh,
I
okay.
would assume if I'm lost in the middle of the ocean and nobody can
Oh.
tell me that I even exist at this point. 'cause
Okay.
they don't
God, I know
A
that
glitch in the
feeling.
Matrix.
It is a glitch. Josh.
I predict.
He did it again.
He predicts it every time.
What can
When
I
he,
say?
as he's doing his headline, reading the letter, I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
got him.
So I'm gonna say that one more time. This is a direct quote from the Navy report. They said these messages that the pilots were radioing in were obvious hallucinations
Right.
fueled by panicked behavior. So these pilots are calling into
That's
base,
scary.
and what they're describing is so crazy that the people on land are saying they're obviously hallucinating.
Yeah.
Right?
A baby just fell straight down north to south, landed
The
on
second
my...
grade teacher doesn't exist. So immediately, And we're talking like right after the first distress came in from the squadron leader, the Navy scrambled a 13 crew member rescue mariner aircraft to try and locate Flight Group 19.
It's a big sky. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Right. We're going to try to bring them in.
Planes that are lost. Let's send out more planes.
To find them. Right. This is a big deal because, like Cameron said, an entire flight group's gone missing.
Okay.
So, they're trying to figure out what's going on. They're radioing in complete gibberish. So 33 minutes into the rescue mission, the Rescue Mariner aircraft radios back to Fort Lauderdale that every guidance mechanism available to them has gone out.
Okay.
Wow.
They're not working as well. So at this point,
don't like this.
Yeah, the Navy Air Base is like,
send some more planes.
I guess we gotta send every plane we have.
Yeah.
Oh my
it can't happen to every. No.
We have to attack this thing.
Here's the thing, though. Keep in mind, this is right after World War II.
Oh, so they're scared.
So true. Naturally, the U.S. government is like, this is some sort of attack.
Why did they wait till the end of the war?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Why are they doing this now? The war's over. Sneaky. So the strange thing is, if it was an attack, they assumed the pilots wouldn't be like radioing in saying crazy things. They would be saying, hey, we're under attack. Like this is going on. Right. The entire flight crew is alive and communicating with Fort Lauderdale, but they're just saying things that don't make any sense. So this entire scenario goes on for nearly 4 hours until complete radio silence. Wow. Flight Group 19, the Rescue Mariner mission, and all 27 crew members were never seen or heard from again.
What?
Gee, I told you, Cam. Take it easy on these guys.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
So the entire Navy and Coast Guard are scrambled to run a search and rescue mission.
That's when I go, my tummy hurts.
I need a different career
sit
path.
This one out.
Yeah. So they never find debris.
Jeez.
They never find any wreckage.
Okay.
No bodies. There's nothing. These planes have ceased to exist. So fueled by post-war anxiety, the President of the United States, Harry Truman, ordered this is a quote, complete and exhaustive investigation.
Send more planes.
Yep.
Yeah. Every plane in existence.
Right. Build more planes.
Fly to Florida, please. Here's the thing, though. They don't want the public to know about this.
Yeah.
Well, naturally, yeah.
Because it's kind of freaky, right? So it could really spook some folks if they find out that right off the coast of Florida, an entire flight group and an entire rescue mission has gone missing with no answer available.
That's the thing. They're right next to the United States. It's not like they're halfway around the world.
100%. They're right at the coast of Florida. So the Navy begins this investigation. And they say that the official statement says, we can't find any record of this happening before now. This is new to us, right? So as far as they can tell, this is an isolated
They're like,
incident.
bury that quote.
Yeah, right.
Nobody should hear this.
Here's the thing. A petty officer who was involved in the search and rescue portion of the mission, he suggested that maybe the reason why you can't find anything is because you're only checking the records of the United States.
Oh, okay.
As we know on our show, and as our listeners know, Florida was handed back and forth between 3 different countries.
Yes, it was.
Prior to, us finding a home in the U.S. So basically Great Britain, France, and Spain, at some point in time, all held claim to the Sunshine State at different points in history.
Oh, they all wanted us.
Well, they're probably still fighting over
did.
us.
They are.
Us, yeah.
So that's what this guy's suggesting is check their records because they owned Florida before we did. Maybe something's up there.
True. Yeah.
So at this suggestion, the Navy starts combing through historic records that were available to them. And what they find is actually interesting. All throughout Florida's early history, there were reports from sailors about an area off the coast of Florida that no one wanted to sail through because ships would sail into the area but not come out.
Okay.
Many early Spanish sailors called this anomaly the Kraken.
Okay. And so they didn't think to tell everybody about this? Like, I feel like this should be like on a billboard
I think
somewhere.
when you lose ownership of a state, you go, don't tell them nothing.
It's classified information.
Oh,
don't tell them about the Kraken.
Yeah.
Don't tell them whether they could die.
Let them figure it out.
So it's like the zigzag alligator rule. They zigzagged them.
Right. They genuinely believe a giant squid would drag boats under the water. That's what the Spanish believed. However, the U.S. Navy is like, we're not going to go with that one.
Yeah, they don't get planes.
But they're planes, man.
Here's the thing. During the investigation, they do find a very interesting journal entry by a very recognizable name. In 1492, a man by the name of Christopher Columbus recorded a similar happening in his nightly journal.
Big squid.
While off the coast of Florida, in the same area that Flight Group 19 disappeared in, Christopher Columbus wrote the following. This is a direct quote from him. In the 10th hour of the night, I have seen things that I cannot explain. A light that we once thought was an indication of land keeps appearing above the water only to vanish moments later. And in a separate passage in his journal, Christopher Columbus wrote this. He said, "Our compasses have been off 11 1/4 degrees all day. I do not believe we have been turned around, but my men are frightened by this new land. The sea rises and falls without any wind and without warning. And on the eve of discovering this new world, it seems we have forgotten how to navigate."
Okay.
All right. Well,
Guess
that was
I'm not-
He seems like he's way more educated than the entire Navy, U.S.
Okay,
Navy.
wow.
Who was like, they were speaking gibberish.
Yeah,
We couldn't find them.
That's the thing. Christopher Columbus is writing this about the exact same area that Flight Group 19 disappeared in 450 years before
It's not
that
a
happened.
coincidence.
That's absolutely insane.
And
Sounds like
squids
I'm
don't
not-
live. Squids don't live for 450 years.
No.
I say,
No.
according to my knowledge.
They have a 200 year.
About 200, 205,
225.
200, yeah. So the incident was deemed classified, but fortunately
That's
for
good.
us,
Keep that secret.
yeah, too many people already had access to the information.
Yep.
Right.
So the story is spreading like
So there's
wildfire.
a black hole in the ocean.
Right. Information is leaking left and right. So once it starts gaining traction, the Navy comes out and says, okay, maybe it wasn't the first time this has happened.
Okay.
They
Well,
start walking it back, and they release the following information.
Here we go.
In 1800, the USS Pickering disappeared with 90 crewmen on board. In 1814, the USS Wasp disappeared with 140 crew members on board. In 1824, the USS Wildcat disappeared with 14 crew. In 1849, the Rosalie was found floating at sea with every single crew member missing. The boat had been completely abandoned.
Okay.
So the list goes on and on with one common denominator. Every single incident happened in the same area that the U.S. Navy for almost 100 years has been calling the Devil's Triangle,
And they let other boats continue to go through this.
also known as the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
Yep.
And they didn't think to put some cones up.
I think the thing
Please.
about it is
Right.
the Navy was like, look, we can't, it makes us look weak if we're just losing boats. Like,
But
we,
if
like
you put like police tape up,
Yeah.
like there's a
don't go
crime
this
scene.
way.
crime scene.
Right.
Yeah. How big is this Devil's Triangle?
Here's the thing. All throughout ancient history, people traveled through this triangle without any problem. It wasn't like a consistent thing. Like
Okay.
the flight squadron leader had flown that path for 6 months.
The triangle's not
And-
hungry.
Oh, so it's not like a.
It's
It
not
wasn't
like
like they drifted
It
into
wasn't
a new.
consistent. No,
Okay,
it was like
okay.
all of a sudden, randomly,
Right.
stuff stops working and they get lost. So Christopher Columbus is saying the same thing that this guy said in the 1940s. Here's the interesting thing. In 2017,
Oh no, I don't
Oh,
like
no.
recent news.
a Turkish airliner, flight TK-183, radioed into several Florida airstrips complaining that their navigational tools were going completely haywire as they were flying over the triangle.
They're like, "Oh, are you over the Devil's Triangle?"
We forgot to
Right.
tell you guys about that.
yeah, you may disappear.
Yeah, sorry about your luck. Luckily, they were able to make it out, but only because the co-pilot took over controls after, and this is a quote, the pilot started speaking nonsense.
Oh my
jeez.
gosh,
Okay.
This is a quote from
This
the
is good.
co-pilot.
This is a good one.
This
I
is
like
a
it.
quote from the co-pilot about the pilot.
Mhm.
He kept saying, "Look how beautiful it is. I can't believe the size of that thing." Which is a pretty weird quote.
It
Yeah.
is. Yep.
Here's what makes
Yeah.
it even stranger. You ready for
Nothing
this?
to say.
When you compare that quote to what the squadron leader of Flight Group 19 said
Don't you?
in the 1945, he said, this is a quote from the Navy.
Yeah.
How could something be so devastatingly large, but also bright and beautiful?
Amen, baby.
Wow.
So
Oh
this
my
is
God.
60 years, 70 years apart. These
Yeah.
two men, one with modern GPS, one with
Yep.
a compass, they're saying the same thing before they go missing forever.
That's wild.
That's absolutely insane. Well, the Turkish flight didn't go missing, but still, like,
Yeah.
because the co-pilot saved the day.
Well, he
Right.
wasn't complimentary enough. It sounds
Right. So we don't have any evidence of what caused the area around the Bermuda Triangle to behave the way it does. Like
Yeah.
we don't really know. Personally, I believe it's trying to warn people away from Florida. I think it's one of those things where it's like randomly, it's like,
It's a
hey,
protection.
you probably shouldn't come here
At least from this direction.
from
Go
this
around.
direction. Go
Don't
around the Gulf of
retire.
Mexico.
Yeah, don't
and you'll be
retire here.
perfectly fine. Either way, I think you should add the Devil's Triangle to your list of reasons why Florida is so fascinating.
Okay, wait. So
It-
that
let me-
you
let
have
me
no
give-
resolve for us here?
yeah,
There
there's-
is no resolve. There's when
I
I
was hoping for like this is exactly why
Yeah.
it happens.
No, here's the thing. A lot of people believe it's weather anomalies because it's so random.
Yeah.
And unpredictable. But I think the thing about it is like, why would a storm like cause a compass to not work? I mean, a compass is why, or a storm is why you have a compass, so you can
Right,
navigate
okay.
through it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my theory.
Okay.
Here it goes.
I feel like if aliens are going to come, They're not going to come from the sky. They're going to come from the seas.
There it is.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
There
And
it is.
so if they are so advanced that they can hide from us for years, however
Right.
many years it
Love
is,
this.
Right.
Love this part of the show.
why couldn't they put up their own protection where if they're getting too close to this,
Yep.
this dreamland, this
Right. Florida.
We're on a different
golden
show.
city,
Yeah.
okay,
Atlantis.
Atlantis, all right, why couldn't they put up this compasses?
Right.
You throw some big magnets under the water
This
and
guy.
like they're gone.
Come on.
All right?
Atlantis, you hardly know us.
Exactly. I mean, you put up like one of your biggest mermaids out of the ocean, and they're like,
Yep,
it's so
sirens.
beautiful.
Are you saying you think a mermaid took these planes down?
No,
Listen, let me tell you
let's
what I think.
recap what he said. Aliens are hiding in the ocean. They put a protective dome. Sometimes it gets weak,
Right.
so they throw a guardian
Mermaid.
mermaid up.
exactly? And the triangle is the perfect shape. A triangle fits
strongest.
all other shapes in it.
Yep.
That
And
is
so, why doesn't it make sense that they can protect their land?
That's why Diamond Dallas Page did the triangle.
That's
Oh,
true,
Look at your dollar bill and tell me what Cam says not real.
bro. They're
Oh
in our
my
culture.
gosh.
They're already here.
Yep.
Hey, if you made it
They
this
threw a
far
baby doll
into
at
it,
me.
Bless.
you made it this
They put a
far
baby
into
in
it.
you?
They threw a baby doll at me.
Okay.
This has been a trippy episode. Episode 128. I
Wow.
feel like we went off the deep end.
You want to know my theory?
Okay.
Same as Cam's.
Exact same as
Listen,
Cam.
if you agree with me, write in. It's what's our email? floridamen@famafam.com. Let me know that I'm right.
just say, here's the thing. Just say I agree with Cam.
Yeah, that's all you need
I
to do.
stand with Cam. Hashtag I stand
Hold
with
on,
Cam.
live stream. I think camera's onto something. Boom.
No, she said on something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, patreon.com/FMOFM podcast is where you can
Join
hang
us.
out with us while we tape our episode.
Cameron's taking his shirt off.
right now. On his chest is a triangle.
Oh my God.
This entire time.
I'm a mermaid, boys.